just keeps getting worse. It keeps getting worse. The Sixers were up by like 46-27 or something like that. And the thing is, in the first half, the reason they got the lead is because the Heat bench was terrible and the Sixers bench was really good. I took a picture of the plus minus, and if you look at all the starters, they're like a -15, -20. I mean, to me, that loss is on Joel Embiid and Paul George. They came back into the game with a 10-point lead. I mean, the Sixers should have went to the halftime with like a 6-point lead, at least. And that's being generous. Realistically, if you're a good team and your stars are legit, you go to halftime with a 10-point lead with the way you played in the first half. But they just couldn't hit open shots. Joel Embiid is not even looking to shoot. I understand he's getting double-teamed, but he's not even looking to shoot. And that's a whole nother story, but man, oh man, he looks washed. Let's just be real. He can't physically drive. He can't get good position. Everyone's like, why is he not catching near the basket? Bro, he can't get good position. You gotta trust your knees. You gotta trust the lower half of your body. Think of how much effort the defense is exerting against Embiid. If he's at 50%, he's not going to get good position versus Bam Adebayo or anyone. So everyone's like, yo, why is he not close to the rim? Because first off, if he gets close to the rim and he successfully does it, his knees are cooked the next possession and the possession after that and the possession after that. I think he's trying this play style because this is the only play style that his knees can take. And quite frankly, obviously, the Sixers are not good enough to win right now. Maybe with Maxey, ever since he's been back, he's just looking to screen. Like, he's not looking for himself right now. He's just kind of playing within the flow. Like, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. Sixers can't shoot from deep. 10 of 41 from 3. 64%. I mean, 64%. 24% from 3. I mean, the Miami Heat shot 29% from 3 and won the game. Let's go on to Paul George. Because, I mean, I swear, this dude, Paul George, puts up the most empty points of all time. Like, remember he had 29 points against the New York Knicks? None of those points felt impactful. Tonight was the same story. Like, he had a good start where he had like 12 points in the first quarter. And that and one, like, that's what I'm talking about. You guys remember he had that and one in the first quarter? That's what I'm talking about, like, impactful points. Like, that felt like a big moment in the game. And it was like an aggressive take. It can get you pumped as a teammate seeing that. He just does not hit momentum shots. Like, when he came back into the game to end the half, there were so many moments where he was open for 3, and if he hits it, the team gets a little jolt of energy and stops the Miami Heat run. He just bricks every single momentum shot. I swear. He is never making a shot where you're like, oh, this is huge. This could be a start of a run, or this can stop a run. Believe me, that shot's not going in. So the fact that he's not like hitting open 3-pointers, it's not really a guarantee. It should be a guarantee. It hurts because Paul George, you can argue that every single shot he takes is a bad shot pretty much because he relies on tough shot making. He's struggling to create separation. And oh, by the way, he's barely driving to the rim. Like, that and one was it felt so good to me because the Sixers were winning at that point, and it felt like they had a different energy. But it also felt good because we haven't seen Paul George drive like that all season long. I mean, remember against the Magic in the first quarter, the Sixers were kind of rolling. Like, they were doing their thing just like they did their thing in this first half at times. And Paul George was just nowhere to be found. He had a fast break opportunity to make a layup, bricked it. He had another one where he just fumbled so many opportunities in the first half of that Orlando game. And maybe if he's on point there, I don't know, the game's different. But there's so many moments where either Joel Embiid or Paul George just aren't there. And they're doing the right thing. They just aren't finishing the plays. It feels like they have to be perfect, and they've been far from perfect. And the reason they have to be perfect is because outside of McCain, where's the shot making coming from? It feels like a gift from God when role players make shots for the Sixers. Outside of like Yabusele and McCain, where is the consistent shot making coming from? So the fact that the shot making of Embiid and Paul George are nowhere to be found right now consistently, this team has no chance of being good. And then on top of that, you could tell they're missing Maxi's presence just as a happy guy, just as a guy who's not going to give up. Because tonight when it went bad, in the Orlando game when it went bad, Joel Embiid started sulking. Same with Paul George. And whenever it goes bad, it feels like the Sixers revert to ISO ball or just kind of don't screen hard anymore, don't do the little things good enough, and it turns into the Sixers trying to get everything back in one possession. Like there was a fast break opportunity for Jared McCain tonight. They were down by like 14, and he probably could have easily drove to the basket, but instead he shot a three-pointer. It's like, dude, just go for the layup. And also, Caleb Martin, he had a possession in the second half where he was ISOing. It's like, dude, let's get some ball movement. It just feels like when things go bad, this team just disconnects. And you can feel it in the team. They feel this slow start. They feel the pressure because when things start to go bad and then they miss a shot on top of that, like Joel Embiid will have a turnover after an 8-0 Heat run, you can see his body language just deflate. You can see the emotions inside him deflate. It's with pretty much everyone on the team, especially the two stars. And that's not what you want. Like, they got to play more free. They got to play with a who gives a fuck attitude. Like, Joel, you miss a shot, get back on defense. You'll make the next one. The only players playing with that type of mentality right now is Jared McCain. But overall, there's not enough shot making on this team. Caleb Martin played a great first half, but eventually he came back down to earth in that second half. And also, like, when Caleb Martin's hitting threes, it doesn't matter. The defense is not going to budge. They don't care. They're living with that shot. But the problem is we got like 6 Caleb Martins out there where the defense is looking and they're like, whatever. Jared McCain's like the only guy where if he's left open, he's going to make you pay. And Nick Nurse has to get serious. He does this funny thing with Kyle Lowry where he realizes how bad he has played, and then he only plays him 19 minutes despite him being a starter. And he did that against the Cavaliers a couple nights ago as well. He only played like 17 minutes or something like that. And it's because Nurse was looking at the game, and he was like, oh, Kyle Lowry is tanking every single lineup he's in because remember when he started the year hot from 3? Well, I'm pretty sure he has missed like his last 23 pointers. I'm not like, that's actually, I'm pretty sure, a real stat. And not only that, he's terrible defensively. He's short, can't grab rebounds. So there's no point of playing Kyle Lowry right now, and he's just forcing it. And he knows he's wrong because he proves it by playing him 19 minutes and 17 minutes when he's a starter. And the worst thing is Nurse like matches all of Lowry's minutes with Paul George and Joel Embiid, and it's like, oh my God, the person who's feeding off of their gravity is Kyle Lowry. And then most of the time, Caleb Martin's out there as well. So you got Kyle Lowry and Caleb Martin off the ball. And I know Reggie Jackson is pretty washed, but I thought he looked good against the Cavaliers. He hasn't gotten minutes since, but at least he's like a scoring threat on the ball. He misses, he kind of over dribbles at times, but I don't know. I thought Reggie Jackson played fine. Like, give him minutes. Who cares? You're giving Eric Gordon minutes. At least Reggie Jackson can hopefully hit a step back 3. I don't know. Like, and what's with Eric Gordon? This dude wants to drive so much. For who, for what? Why are you driving? I knew once Nurse saw Embiid and Yabu struggle for like a small stretch where the chemistry looked weird, the defense looked weird, and things like that. I knew he was going to give up on it. I knew it. And now Yabu's going to have to fight fight back into the lineup. Why? Why is he the guy who has to fight for playing time? He's got a high IQ. He's good at passing. I understand he has a funky three-point shot at times. He's kind of like, he's more of a small ball five, it seems, than a real power forward. But who cares? The team is 2-10. Throw him next to Embiid every single game so they can grow and gain chemistry and learn. Oh my goodness. It's not only that. Like, remember to start the year, and still Yabu never looks at the rim to drive. Even though when he's shown aggressiveness downhill, he's got potential. He's shown in the post he can take advantage of mismatches. How long did it take for Nick Nurse to even try that? It took like 8 games. How long did it take Nick Nurse to start playing Jared McCain? This dude has been averaging 20 points every game. Like, I understand no one saw this coming. I was a Jared McCain hater, but my goodness, I would hope if I'm in front of him every day, Joel Embiid, remember him during training camp? Remember Joel Embiid was like, Jared McCain's our best player. Like, he legit was not lying. And Reggie Jackson, everyone, Kyle Lowry, every single old man guard is ahead of Jared McCain, and it takes like 5 games or whatever it was to actually get McCain in the rotation. Do you realize how embarrassing that is for a head coach? That's fucking embarrassing. The stats that Jared McCain is putting up right now is embarrassing, considering what's going on with the Sixers rotation, and that dude wasn't in there immediately after 3 games where we had 0 offense. What the fuck are we doing?